Hello and welcome to the Curzon Mayfair, where we're going to have a chat with Simon Pegg and his co-stars for the gala screening of the British rom-com Man Up.
It is about a woman called Nancy who is in a sort of transitional phase of her life romantically and is mistaken at Waterloo Station for someone's blind date. And rather than sort of say, no, that's not me, she says, yes, it is me. And so begins a sort of evening, which is partially, at the beginning of at least, fundamentalized by deception. But that is quickly that comes to light quite quickly, as it would do in the real world.
It's a romantic comedy just set over a very short space of time, one night in London, where a couple get together under a case of mistaken identity, and they flirt, they fall in love, they find out the truth of each other, they bicker, they argue, they almost split up, and you're rooting for them to get back together. So it's a microcosm of a relationship played out in a very short space of time.
It's mistaken identity. It is hilarious. It is very, very funny. I've never been a huge fan of comedy, or rather, when I said what I mean is, I'm a bit wary of comedy. When I read this, I thought it's great. It's very funny. It really is. And when I saw the end product, I thought it's perfect, and it's perfectly done.
The point of a good rom-com is making that journey from A to B interesting and fun and unexpected. And I think what Tess Morris has done with this script is to do that exactly, is to create a very modern spin on a traditional genre. We know what we want to go and see when we see a rom-com. We want to see people falling in love. The question is how you do it, and Tess has done that really well.
It was Tess's writing straight away, like any good script. If the writing's strong and the characters are well drawn and the dialogue is fast and frantic and funny, that sort of wins you over.
It was fun to play a guy he's trying to be one thing when you first meet him, and that very quickly falls away, and you see that he's something completely different. You know, no one's perfect in this movie, and Jack is right up there with the kind of, even though at first Nancy is the kind of kooky, crazy one, you realise that Jack has his own psychosis as well, and they're probably as bad, if not worse, than hers. So, yeah, it was fun. It's nice to play a character with layers, with sort of light and shade, and I think he's definitely got that.
Well, I'm hoping what they get is an honest romantic comedy, not something that patronising, not something that's overly twee or sentimental. Those romantic comedies have to fulfil certain beats. So they're formulaic in a sense, I suppose, but I'm hoping this one will genuinely surprise, and the honesty and the relatability of those characters will really come through.
It's a film that throws up a lot of questions about dating, and I think the main thing people will get is a huge sense of goodwill and sort of warmth. It's going to make people walk out. I would stand out the side of a cinema and happily watch people coming out with huge grins on their faces. And I feel the one thing about this, people say rom-coms are sort of female skewed, but this one isn't. In the great tradition of films like When Harry Met Sally or even Four Weddings and a Funeral or Annie Hall, they're about relationships, and we're both represented there, men and women, in a very sort of honest way. So I think you'll walk away feeling uplifted in many ways.